100%. 100%.
Yo, what's up everyone? This is VSips. Welcome to the channel. Today we got a brand new video to start the new year, and it's all about every game that I beat in 2024. And I beat 44 of them. 44 games, man. And that's a big accomplishment for me. I usually beat just about 20 or so a year at most, so 2024 was pretty big. I beat 44 games in 2024. So let's get into it. Starting off was an expansion for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Teal Mask DLC. To be honest, I was not having any fun. It was really bland and extremely uninteresting as an expansion. It was a slog to go through, and I genuinely wasn't a fan of Ogerpon as a new mythical Pokemon. I wasn't really fond of Ogerpon. Sorry. But the addition of Carmine and Kieran to me wasn't really super impactful either, but Kieran will have more of an impact in the following Indigo Disc DLC expansion and the epilogue, which I beat after the Teal Mask DLC, which the Indigo Disc took place in Unova, which is the Gen 5 region for Generation 5. And I had a lot of fun in the Indigo Disc. It was in a closed area with 4 different biomes that you can catch many new Pokemon, and there's a lot of cool new characters that you got to interact with some great fun battles too. And as a mythical legendary, Terrapagos is very neat. I really like Terrapagos. After that, I played Mortal Kombat 1, and graphically, really impressive. Gameplay can be fun if you're playing with friends, but like, the file size of this game makes me think it's a Call of Duty game. Like, oh my god, it's huge. And then the multiplayer focus online, extremely lacking, and even just local co-op couch play, it's pretty lacking. And many people who were playing Mortal Kombat 1 dropped the game a month after release, and to this day, it's been a year since then. Pretty much everyone dropped Mortal Kombat 1 now. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora was a really surprising game for me because I genuinely don't like playing any game by Ubisoft, but I gave this a chance because I actually love Avatar. Not the Airbender Avatar, I prefer this Avatar. Anywho, the gameplay is reminiscent of Far Cry, but it feels really fresh and renewed because of the world building that Avatar brings with the world of Pandora, and it really brings you into the cinematic Avatar universe. If you ever loved any of the Avatar movies, this is a game I highly recommend. It's one of the best looking games on the PS5 too. Tekken 8. When this game released, it was almost 10 out of 10 for me. It was such a great fighting game. It is still a great fighting game mechanically, and there is some replayability. You can have online play, training mode, the arcade story mode is great, and even the downloadable expansion story mode that ties in the DLC characters was cool. But those DLC characters in question, they kind of killed the game for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't like Eddie and Lydia. They didn't like how they were kind of OP compared to a lot of the base roster. And same with Heihachi. Of course, he plays similar to the prior entries, but they brought him back after making it like he died. People really were upset about that, and including me at one point. So I totally understand, but it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely the best fighting game of the year, for sure. Silent Hill: The Short Message. Now, for me, I was never super crazy into Silent Hill, so I gave The Short Message a chance. I gave it a chance because it was a free downloadable game digitally. I played on PS5, and I do have Silent Hill 2 Remake, so I do plan on playing that, most likely around the Halloween season, most likely. But yeah, no, Silent Hill: Short Message, it was not a bad time. It was just like about 2-hour experience at most. A few moments were like heart pumping moments, but a lot of the time you're kind of just walking around. It's kind of just simulating walking around. Now, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, man, this game came out, and to this day I still think about replaying it. And it's one of the only games in this entire list of games that I beat that I want to go back to at some point this year, probably around the summertime, honestly, because it takes place in Hawaii. The new world is a lot more fun to explore in Hawaii. Of course, you do get to experience Kamurocho again, but having a new area to explore with all these amazing characters, and I personally enjoyed the story a lot, and I think a lot of people should give this game a chance if they still haven't yet. And we already have Like a Dragon, Pirates of Yakuza coming out soon. So I can't wait for that. It's coming up next month. But this is definitely my game of the year. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, it was my game of the year. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake, this is probably one of my most unexpected remakes that I didn't expect to ever happen. But compared to the GBA original, it definitely needed to happen. I love how the game had less fall damage being an issue, because in the original game it was definitely a problem. The platforming is an exact replica of the original, for better or for worse, so if you liked the original gameplay, then you'll be right at home here, and I loved it. Graphically, it looks amazing too, and the gameplay, sound design, new levels, it's a great remake. Definitely one of Nintendo's best releases of the year. Now, one of the best releases Nintendo had last year that I didn't get to experience till now was Super Mario RPG Remake. It's spectacular. If you despise the last 10 years of Mario RPGs, which includes Brothership, which is really bad. If all of the biggest content creators are saying how bad this game is, and I relate to every single point, then clearly my stance is valid. Mario & Luigi Brothership is not a good Mario & Luigi game, and it's not a good Mario RPG. Mario RPG, the remake Super Mario RPG, man, it's a solid 10 out of 10. It was one of the best games I played this year. If I played this game in 2023, I would say it'd be my game of the year for that year. That's how good this game is, and I hope we get a sequel to Super Mario RPG. That's how good I thought this was. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, some of you may know, I did a review of Remake back in the day, and when I did that review, I played the game twice on the normal mode and the hard mode. And I gave the game a solid 8.5. This game is definitely not an 8. It's definitely not good in my opinion. Sorry, but I don't like to play a game that forces you to do side quests. I like a game that allows you to choose the side quests on your own. Not you enter the town and you're forced into a cutscene and then forced into a side quest, or then forced into a minigame without you making the choice to do that. It's a game that doesn't respect your time, and most open world RPGs are usually better at that. And since it's Square Enix's first time with an open world game, I understand why they weren't able to succeed in that regard. But anyone who actually thinks this game is really good, I'm sorry, you're just objectively wrong. Pikmin IV. Now that's a game that's better than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Different genre entirely. But I'm just saying, as a game that's fun and actually just better overall, I just had a much better experience. The gameplay is everything from the original Pikmin games 1, 2, and 3, just evolved to be even more mechanically sound. It's just a series that's been getting better every single time with every entry, and the graphics in this game look incredible to be on the Switch. Literally incredible. And another game with incredible graphics, New Pokemon Snap. New Pokemon Snap, I did play it for a few months and loved it when it first came out, and then I dropped it because some parts of the game, they don't really tell you any sort of hint to take a specific picture, because you have to take specific pictures in order to gain access to new routes within every contained area of New Pokemon Snap in order to proceed to the next area. And they lead to Lumina Pokemon, they lead to new locations in order to progress the story, and the game definitely didn't do a good job at letting you know what to do at certain times. You just had to completely repeat each of those missions in those contained areas. You just repeatedly take pictures until you got the right one to make a path. It wasn't a bad game, but I don't know. I definitely think it could have been better. It was good, but it could have been better. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's an easy 9 out of 10. Amazing game. I'm not trying to say all of my numerical scores right now. I'm going to have a tier list at the end of the video showcasing where all these games are placed. But 100%, I just cannot say anything else bad about this game. There's nothing really to say that's bad. It's one of the best Kirby games I ever played. And for a 3D platformer, you definitely got to give it a chance. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake. It's literally Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. So it's a completely faithful remake. The only thing not faithful is the 60 FPS being taken away, which personally, that's why I docked it a point. The 60 FPS makes that much of a difference. And not having it does make pressing specific inputs a lot harder. It does. If you say otherwise, you're just lying to yourself. But that's the truth. It's a great game. Solid, amazing game. Definitely recommend you pick it up. But just know the 60 FPS being taken away made an impact. It does make a difference. Kirby Superstar for the SNES. I went back to a classic Kirby game after beating Forgotten Land. And for the SNES, it was a pretty good game. Pretty short, but it was a lot of fun with some great little elements like the OG Great Cave Offensive, which was eventually in Smash Bros. Cool that they had that in this game originally. Now, next up, Escape from Terra City. I played this game on the PS5. I was invited by the team who created the game to showcase it, and I beat the game in one whole playthrough. As you guys may have noticed, you probably have seen some gameplay from streams that I've done on a lot of these games that I'm talking about in this video, throughout this video, and yeah, Escape from Terra City, it's a bit short, the OST was average, and the gameplay was alright, but not really any weapon upgrades that were valuable, if at all, any of them. Super Mario Land on Game Boy. I never experienced the original Super Mario Land on Game Boy. I used to think Super Mario Land 2 was Super Mario Land. So, I finally got the chance to play the first Super Mario Land, and I do plan to play Super Mario Land 2 sometime this year. I still think it's crazy that Mario saved Daisy in Super Mario Land. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it should have been Luigi's game. Luigi's first game. It was fun though, but very short. Castlevania Legends on Game Boy. Castlevania Legends on Game Boy, it's Castlevania on Game Boy, and like Mario on Game Boy is a bit clunky, but like Castlevania on Game Boy, now that is clunky. I do want to mention the climax of the game, and the OST at least, was very good and made it worth playing. Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, for those of you who know, I bought and played most of the game within the first year or two of the release. So I played it online, streaming the multiplayer, streamed some of the single player, but I dropped the game off around like floor 11, and the game just felt like a drag. It eventually felt like I kept hitting floors higher and higher up. I'm like, is the game over yet? Is the game over yet? Because mechanically, I was not a fan of how the vacuum was tied to like the controls. I wasn't a fan of the light bulb and having to shoot projectiles. It was very finicky in my opinion also. It just wasn't fulfilling. I felt like I would constantly make it to the next level, and it's like, oh, someone steals the button to the next floor even though I just got it. Like, okay, that's padding as fuck. But graphically, it's the best looking game on the Switch. Easily top 3, and I don't think it's 3. So if you like Luigi's Mansion and you haven't played Luigi's Mansion 3, it's a must play. It's definitely a must. Kuru Kuru on the GBA. I played it through the NSO, and I never knew this game even existed, but Nintendo developed the game along with the team behind it, and oh my god, it's super charming. The gameplay can be really fun and grueling, with some BS at the later levels, but there's like multiple sequels in this series, so I'm definitely going to give it a try, and you guys should too if you have the NSO. Kuru Kuru on the GBA, really solid fun game. Oh my god, now. Along with Super Mario RPG and Like Dragon Infinite Wealth, this is another game that's definitely was one of the best experiences I played this year, and if I played it and beat it last year when it released, it would have been my game of the year. Easily one of my top 2. Pizza Tower. Holy fuck, it's literally so much chaotic mayhem bottled up with Wario Land 4 mixed with a ton of LSD, Sonic the Hedgehog, and pizza. It's the best combination with the best art style and music that truly stands out, with a lot of memorable characters as well. Oh my god, if you haven't, go play Pizza Tower. Marvel Superheroes. I played it through the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. It's a classic Marvel fighting game. It was a lot of fun, and there's even some niche characters thrown in too, like Shuma. It plays good, and it's a classic. Jackie Chan Adventures Legend of Dark Hand on the Game Boy Advance. I played this back in the day and never beat it, so I thought, hey, let me give it a chance. Let me give it one more try. And it was very nostalgic going back to it, but the jumping in the game is way too floaty. Some of the gameplay can be very difficult in certain areas where you just get absolutely spammed to death by attacks. Sometimes you just use the same 3 combos to win, and that's about it. It's It's Jackie Chan on the Game Boy. Not much more I can say. Super Mario Eclipse, a pseudo sequel to Super Mario Sunshine, made by many people in the Sunshine modding community, and it's genuinely what Sunshine was meant to be. It has all of the unused content from the original game finally usable, so new worlds and new levels that were originally planned are now here, finished, and even brand new levels and worlds that were added into. It was peak. Definitely one of the best games I experienced, and there's two amazing elements to this gameplay that you'll have to find out for yourself. Astrobot. I would put this alongside Pizza Tower, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Super Mario RPG for the games that I played this year that were like the top tier, S tier games. Astrobot is there. If you ever had a PlayStation, this is the game for you. It's literally across the board been Game of the Year for most people and most publications, and I agree that it definitely deserves Game of the Year recognition. The DualSense functionality is beyond anything else on PS5, and the game is truly joyful bliss for anyone who's ever played a game on a Sony platform. It's a must-buy PS5 game. The Punisher from the Sega Genesis Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. It was very rudimentary, very short. I had fun, but it was literally like a 30-minute game, a 30-minute arcade game. If I played this in a real arcade, I would have been surprised that it didn't take too many coins from me. It would have only taken like $1's worth. But hey, I guess it's an arcade game that respects your coins, respects your time. Tomato Adventure on the Game Boy Advance. Now this is from the team of Alpha Dream. It was their first game, one of their first games, and they made it with Nintendo. And Tomato Adventure is something I'm surprised no one knows about. It's Nintendo, and it was a lot of fun. If you love Mario and Luigi, like Superstar Saga, if you love that, then Tomato Adventure is basically where that gameplay came from. Where the charm of the graphics, all that, the soundtrack, it's where it all came from. This game right here. It's truly the bread and butter for the Mario and Luigi series, and it's still a fun RPG, but don't let the witty story and the awesome soundtrack fool you. As the game progresses, that final dungeon sucks. That final dungeon was horrible. It literally felt like I was in the final dungeon for half of my playtime. If you make it to the end of that game, it's worth it, I guess. X-Men Children of Adam. I played this fighting game for the first time on the Marvel vs. Capcom collection as well. No. I beat it, but this game was truly like one of those coin goblin arcade fighting games, for sure. This game wanted my money. Yeah, I beat it, but sheesh, it was ridiculous. The Plucky Squire on PS5. The Plucky Squire on PS5 is definitely my biggest disappointment from 2024. I saw the game revealed years ago, and I was immediately so excited to play it because it's exactly the type of game that I would love to play. Something where it's a overworld action adventure style game. You're coming from the 2D world of a storybook into the real life world, and just overall the game mechanically just falls off a cliff in practically every chapter. Constant game-breaking bugs and glitches. A lot of people who lost their save files and save data in this game after making it through 80% of the game, even including myself. And not just on PS5, people were dealing with this on PC too. They released the game a year too early, and they definitely should have had it cook in the oven more, because it would have been a solid 7 if it actually was not game-breaking. And like, it was constant game-breaking issues. I was so disappointed. But man, if I could rate it higher, I would. But it literally broke almost every 5 minutes. Now, another game that I thought was amazing, but hey, you know what? There's a couple things here and there that could have been left in the oven for this game, maybe left in the oven for a year, but I still had a lot of fun in it. But I put 60 hours into this, so like, it definitely is in my top 10 for the year for sure. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I played it on PC. I played it early, a few days early with I forgot the season pass, I think. Man, this game is so much fun to play. I beat all of the story modes. I beat pretty much all the game has to offer outside of the online, because the online, man, everyone just fucking rage quits in 2 minutes. They see you play a certain character and then they just unfriend you. Like, people are fucking lunatics when it comes to this game's online. So I haven't played online since, because 9 times out of 10 it's just not worth playing the online, especially when the people who rage quit don't get penalized as much as they should. It took them 2 months to put in a patch to try and alleviate that issue of rage quitters, and to this day I still see people in Sparking Zero threads saying this person rage quit and I didn't get my points for them quitting and me technically winning. Like, so the fact that that's still an issue, bro. Bandai Namco and Spike Chunsoft gotta do better. Too many people bought that game for them to be acting out like this. Should have released next year, and not because Daima released this year. They shouldn't have released Sparking Zero this year. FZero Climax, I played it on the NSO GBA service, and it's like the 4th time Nintendo gave us a game on the NSO with no English translation, which is pretty annoying, but it's still F-Zero, but it has a custom track creator, which is the main reason why I was playing it, and the custom track creator was pretty cool. I do wish if we ever get a new F-Zero, we get a custom track creator for that. Super Mario Party Jamboree on the Switch, easily one of the best Mario Party games. It's definitely in my top 6 Mario Party games, because there's like Mario Party 4, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, Mario Party Superstars, Mario Party 6, and then Super Mario Party Jamboree, I would say. But no. And then Mario Party 1. But this is literally Mario Party combined with Super Mario Party, but it's actually really good. It's a lot of fun with some great mini games that are throwbacks and some new ones too that are fun. I recommend you guys check it out, and especially some of the new online modes that are really fun. You gotta check out some of those new online modes like Kupathlon. Kupathlon is a lot of fun. Super Mario and the Crystal Crescents. It's a new Super Mario Bros. 2 ROM hack. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet because the game is literally short and sweet. It was just one world with, I think, 6 or so levels, 8 levels maybe. Too short. The game made me think there was more to it because Iggy stole Peach after you defeat Roy. So I guess in the way this game works in Crystal Crescents, currently you just beat Roy and that's it. The NSO playtest. All I'm gonna say is that we weren't given an NDA. It is 100% okay to talk about the playtest, but I'm not gonna talk about too much. All I'm gonna say is that the game should have been a full-fledged release. There was microtransactions in it. It was a lot of fun. I put 60 plus hours into it. It deserves to be in the top 10 for me because I still think about it to this day. If the playtest was still around and playable, I'd be playing it every day. I would be playing it every day. The finals. Now, this is an FPS game I gave a chance, and it was pretty fun. I played it throughout the year, and I used to play it on PS5 when it first released back in 2023, but I wasn't really vibing with it on PS5. On PC though, it did feel a little bit better. It was a lot more fun, and sniping was great. I would give it really a positive score, honestly. The only problem I have is you definitely need to have friends to play with. You need a squad. You need a trio to play with, for sure. The breakable areas though, they remind me of Battlefield, which I think is really cool. Stellar Blade. Another of one of the best games I played this year, easily in my top 5 or top 10. It was genuinely an amazing action game that isn't all about Stellar Blade's body. It's not. There was a really immersive world in this game, a great story about trying to fix the Earth from all of the issues that its humanity went through, and the characters are really good if they're not just overshadowed by the way social media makes the protagonist and Eve out to be, to make it out like, oh, the game's all about Eve and her body showing. Like, no, there's gameplay. The action is better than most Souls games, and in my opinion, even better than Nier. But yeah, Stellar Blade, give it a chance if you got a PS5, and it should be coming to PC soon too. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I played Brilliant Diamond. It's truly a one-to-one remake of Diamond and Pearl with no quality of life improvements from Platinum or from any of the new games. And it's truly broken. The following Pokemon mechanic is broken. The difficulty curve is absolutely disgusting with the Elite Four. With what they give you in this game before the Elite Four, till you get there, appalling. This game is a genuine throw in the trash and light that shit on fire tier. This game, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, don't ever play it. If you like Pokemon, save yourself the trouble. Don't play it. Pac-Man World Repack. I got to play this on PS5. It looks really good on PS5. And it does have the classic retro 3D style of sandbox platforming. It's the true embodiment of that. And I personally am in the camp of, I would love for Pac-Man to have a resurgence. Mario's got one. Sonic's got one. I think it's time for Mega Man and Pac-Man too, which they both got those secret level episodes, but the Pac-Man one, I think that's more based on that new indie game that has Pac-Man in it coming out. So we'll see. We'll see. Marvel Rivals. This is definitely better than like Paladins, definitely better than Overwatch, and you get to play as all of your favorite Marvel characters. What more can you ask for? It's actually great. It's actually a lot of fun. I recommend y'all check it out, and maybe even play with us sometime. We play it here on the channel a lot, so come check it out. I love playing as Jeff. Jeff is definitely one of the most fun characters to play as. His ult, oh man, it's the best. X-Men vs. Street Fighter from the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. This game was definitely one of the best fighting games from the collection. I personally always loved Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2, but X-Men vs. Street Fighter, this is my first time playing it, and I would play this again multiple times with friends and stuff. It was a great stepping stone before we got Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2, and I'm great I got the chance to play it, because even the arcade mode, it's peak. The arcade mode, definitely peak. Overall, for the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, Fighting Arcade Classics, I played on PC and the entire collection was great. Overall, all the modes were awesome. I do wish there was more people playing some of these games online, because when I check online, there's not that many people playing online. There's not a whole lot of crossplay going on, as much as I would hope. But we'll see. We'll see if anything changes with that. We'll see if Capcom makes any improvements, and we'll see if more people decide to play that game online. Because I would love to play some of those games online, like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. More people gotta play it online so I can play against y'all. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Magnificent JRPG. I cried 3 times while playing this game. A fantastic soundtrack, great gameplay, and memorable characters that tie in the entire Xenoblade series up to this point. The journey was super engaging after Chapter 3. Because obviously this game came out a couple years ago. I played a couple chapters in and then I dropped it. I got back into it this year and man, I was hooked immediately after Chapter 3. That game, you guys gotta play Xenoblade 3. And right now, I'm currently in the works of finishing Xenoblade Chronicles Future Redeemed. Damn, what an amazing game. What an amazing expansion. Content warning. I played this game when it came out day 1. Which was on April 1st. It was for free, just for that one day. And it was worth downloading it for free. Got to play with friends. It's a great game, reminiscent of games like Lethal Company. And basically, instead of like being just like running around scared, you're more so trying to create videos while not trying to get yourself taken down by something that is scary. It's a cool gimmick. I do wish more people played it currently though. That'd be nice. And finally, the last game that I beat was an indie game that I was excited for years. It finally came out, called Mika and Luigis Mountain. It's an indie game that, for me, it didn't disappoint. There was a pretty good story that was ingrained across all of the gameplay, so everything you did in game tied into the story, it tied into the characters you connected with, which made it a lot of fun. There was a lot of backtracking though. You're delivering a lot of packages and mail and stuff, so there's a lot of backtracking in between all of the story and gameplay, but it's worth it, and there was 2 free updates that were really great additions too. A lot of great quests in that game also. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it as an indie game. Probably one of my favorite indie games of 2024. And that is all the games that I beat in 2024. I beat 44 games in 2024, and those are my overall thoughts on all of them. I hope you guys, if you made it this far into the video, enjoyed listening to my thoughts. I hope you dropped a comment down below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to never miss a single upload or live stream here on the main VSips channel. We do gameplay live streams, live event streams, reaction streams, and tier list streams and more. Thank you all so much for watching. Consider also joining our community as a member and join at any of the various tiers. All the support is truly appreciated, and you get access to our exclusive Discord. We do monthly giveaways and more. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.
V-Sips on the beat.
You know we got it in the bag, sips and bricks too. You see us coming in the jag, you know we keep it 100 proof. No, we gotta keep it 100, keep it 100 real true. Ay, ay, ay. 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. I always grind, 100%. I always rhyme, 100%, 100%, 100%. I always grind, 100%.
Bricks going back anytime on the track. We never slack, we always on attack. We got the pack in the back of the lack. Beyond the jag, all black, no Kodak. Putting cardiac, my rhymes on my neck. It's sips bricks season, this how we react. Days long night, use insomniac. Count each block in each rack that we both stack. Ay.
100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. I always grind, 100%. I always rhyme, 100%, 100%, 100%. I always grind, 100%.